Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rainbow Roundtable. So if you're watching this, it's going to be moved from Spotify to YouTube. This is our first YouTube recording. And today I've got a special guest here who I've known for quite a few years. He's going to introduce himself to you and tell you a little bit about himself.
Hi, so I am Jared Ross, local gay here in South Bend. I'm also the most iconic realtor here at our office in Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, that's who I am.
Okay, so a couple of things that he said. So South Bend. I no longer live in Houston, unfortunately. Life moved me away. But I was able to come back here. And so when I told Jared about my podcast, first off, I have two. In case you didn't know, I have the Rainbow Roundtable and the Age of the Millennial. Jared, can you tell him what you did?
So in preparation for this podcast, I actually listened to the wrong one.
Yes, he did.
So I have no idea what this format is, or I've never heard it before. So
well, he's going to enjoy it. I think he's going to enjoy it. If you are in the South Bend area and you want to be part of this podcast, please join me. I'm looking for guests all the time. I usually have up to 3 guests, but I'm starting off small in a small little area. If you notice outside, that is going to be Notre Dame College. So yeah, in case you're wondering where South Bend is, just think of Notre Dame and you're right on the money.
Yeah, we'll put that. You'll put that in post, right?
Yeah, I can put that in the post. I'll put a map on there where you'll be able to find South Bend. However, I did watch an episode of Family Guy, and I think because Pete Buttigieg is from South Bend, it put people like onto what or where we are, and Family Guy started talking about South Bend. It wasn't anything good, but it was funny that
we'll take it.
We'll take it. I don't think Family Guy in the amount of time that it's been on the show has ever talked about Houston, which is where I came from, but they talked about South Bend. So
Beyonce is from Houston, Texas, isn't she?
She is from Houston, but if you ever notice Family Guy, they don't talk about Beyonce unless it's in a good light. There was one instance when they talked about Jay-Z, but they made damn sure not to bring up Beyonce. The Beehive is crazy. Speaking of
the Illuminati too.
I am a Beyonce fan, so I don't believe in the whole Illuminati thing. I don't think she would be a part of it anyway. I highly doubt any celebrity that we know would be part of the Illuminati. It doesn't make much sense.
I think it's just Scientology.
We're drinking wine on this one, folks.
Little Savi B never hurt nobody.
No, it did not.
Never hurt nobody.
Anyway, the topic of this episode centers around, and I told you a little bit about closeted men. And
on the deal.
On the down low. Mm-hmm. And in the gay community, that is
hot.
So you say hot. It depends on who you are. Yeah. Because if you are someone who is DL and you know who you are, but you're afraid of coming out, there's no shame in that. And I noticed that they're moving back here are a lot of people from various ages. Someone hit me up and I, met him. Nothing happened. We just worked out together, but he was in his late 50s going on 60. And he was telling me about, his wife, his kids, his entire job in his career. He just done very well for himself, but he's not out of the closet. And he's adamant, about his bisexuality, but he said that he's not sexually attracted to his wife.
This is crazy.
Well,
that's a revelation.
But it's one of those things where it happens a lot. No, and I asked. So I don't really talk to him. I talked to him once. He sent me photos of himself. He's got a nice
cock.
Yeah, he's got a nice dick. Yeah. But this is not, PG-13. So if you're looking for politically correct and or censored content, this is not it. No. He had a nice, thick, long dick. But I only saw it in photo because once I found out he was married and he was going through all of this stuff, it turned me off. You said it's hot.
Well, it depends on what you're looking. Are you looking for love, honey, or are you looking for just like a one night stand, a little fling?
So that's the thing. For me, 32 years old, never been in a relationship before.
Jesus.
Oh, thanks. And so I'm looking for something substantial. The problem is people look at me and think of me as the fling type. And I don't know why I don't know, is that do you put off that vibe, or how does that become a thing?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've never actively been looking for I've just kind of fell into relationships myself. It just
happens.
It's like those one night stands that just never leave for decades.
And that's the thing.
Now I'm married to one.
So someone talked about that on Twitter, about how people have this idea of Grindr and all the other social media apps where gays, meet for hookups, how they can be used to find long-lasting relationships. He talked about how he found one for 7 years, he found one for 4 years, and then people were talking to him about that. And a lot of people of color said, well, that's because people will look for you for a relationship, but they will look for me as a way to satiate their fetish. And when they said that, I thought about it, and I'm like, that isn't wrong. If you go to certain areas that are highly populated with people that aren't black, a lot of times, I literally had people say, oh, you'll be the first black guy I've ever slept with. That's a huge turnoff for me.
Yeah, that would be a red flag.
And it's one of those things where you're trying to check it off. And people make jokes about, interracial sex being something to be sexy or something. And I'm like, what are you expecting from me? And then there's this one person who was like, hey, so I want to give you a blowjob. And I told him, thank you, but no thank you. He was like, well, can you, tell me why? Because I really think you would enjoy it. And I'm like, you trying to convince me to let you give me a blowjob? That is not good, because in certain instances, that's considered sexual assault and rape. Like if you're trying to coerce someone into doing something they don't want to do. I told you no, don't ask me why. Second of all, your profile just screams fetish. You want to be abused by a black person. You want to be, quote unquote, rough handled by a black person. And then on top of that, you're in the closet, you're DL, you're very discreet. You're wanting to use me for your plaything. You can buy a dildo for that. You don't have to use a person for that. So when I go and I tell people, oh, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. Oh, well, you wouldn't be on Grindr if you were. You don't know me.
Right. Well, I think at that point, I'm not going to kink shame anybody, first of all. But if that's not what you're looking for, just, block them and move on. That's what I do.
Well, so kink shaming isn't exactly what I would call it. It's one of those things where if you're using someone else for your pleasure, you don't see them as a person.
Right.
That is
just based on race. That's
that's the part where it becomes a little bit hazy, because there are certain kinks. Like I have a kink when it comes to underwear, and I have a kink where it comes to anonymous play. Like if I know someone and we're playing role playing, it's like, hey, I'm picking you up at the bar. I know who he is. You know who I am, but we're acting like we're strangers, and we go and we hook up somewhere outside, or we hook up in the backseat of someone's car or something.
Oh,
that to me is right. That's sexy. Yeah, but I don't use this person as a sexual fantasy. I like this person. I want to get to know this person, and he wants to get to know me. It's just sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, because what I feel for this person, they don't feel for me. And of course, vice versa. There are times when someone has felt something for me and I just don't feel it. And I tell them, hey, I don't want to use you. Even though I can sometimes be lonely, I'm not selfish enough to say, let's do this because I'm lonely. And I think that's the part where I get upset a lot of times with DL and closeted individuals.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like DL and closet can be different too, because nowadays you don't even have to be gay to fuck man, I mean, that's what they're saying nowadays.
I've seen that too.
And I've there's so many times where you hook up with somebody who's DL, and you walk in, there's a freaking pride flag on there. I mean, they're not straight. You know what I mean? So DL doesn't necessarily mean straight. So it just means, hey, listen, I'm not trying to broadcast everybody that I'm sleeping with, and secondly, it just means this is going to be a casual type of situation.
which I'm totally fine with if that's something that's stated up front. But you've probably seen profiles where they're like, oh, I'm looking for friends, or I'm looking for, this or that, and I want to have something consistent, and yet the first thing they send you is dick pic, butthole.
They're lying.
And that thing, we know that they're lying. They know that they're lying. Like, if you want to be someone who is trying to project this idea of your purity, you can do that. But if you're not being genuine about it, don't be mad when people don't go for it. Right. There are some people that look, in my opinion, amazing online. I think that they're so sexy, but when I read their profiles, I'm immediately turned off.
Right.
And going.
So do you go to like the bars or anything? So here's my take. This is a hot take. I'm only using the apps for hookups. Like, that's the only thing that I use it for. I'm not on there looking for anything other than a good time. So do you like go out to the bars? Like, do you do anything other than that to be like surrounded? Because here, us queers, we're few and far between.
Yes.
So it's tough to do that.
To put things into perspective, y'all, this area, when I left, so you have the South Bend, Notre Dame, Mishawaka, Elkhart area, had about, 500,000 people?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I have no idea.
Well, you're a realtor. You should know these things about population density.
South Bend is around 100,000.
Oh, it should be more than that.
No,
So South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart, Notre Dame, the area has about a quarter. I'm sorry, 500,000 people.
That makes sense.
And so for 500,000 people, it's very small. And so I get the whole idea of DL, where they don't want to broadcast everything. But if you sleep with one person here, you've probably slept with every other person they've slept with, because it's such a small community. That was the issue I ran into the first time I lived here. Right. And it was so strange, because it was those people that were like, I don't want a relationship. So they would sleep with me once, and then they wouldn't contact me for 6 or 7 months until they ran through everyone else, and they come back to me. And I felt that was so insulting. It's like, you don't want to be with me, but you don't want to be with anyone else. You know what the kind of people I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's better than getting with you and getting in a relationship with you when they know they want variety. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not about variety. It's about fear of commitment, I think, for a lot of these individuals in this area. And I've often blamed Notre Dame for that, because I feel like Notre Dame breeds a lot of superiority complexes.
Okay.
And so a lot of people are hoping for that bigger fish. And so they put off getting into a relationship when they know that they're ready, because they're waiting for someone else to come along, someone better. And in this area, coming back and seeing all of those same people online and on all these apps, after all this time, it's like, who were you waiting for? 3 years have gone by, and you're still saying the same thing. In this small area, if you aren't willing to give anyone a chance, because that's the thing, you're not giving someone a chance. Even you, I remember we were talking to a lady at Cellular Sales, and she had a photo of a dog. It was a King Cavalier. And I was talking to her about that, and you looked at me and you were like, you know a lot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, you surprise me all the time with just like what is up in that big old head.
Exactly. And so a lot of people don't know that about me. And so they don't give me the chance, because they assume just by looking at me, I'm a stereotype. And I think that's a huge issue with this area. Not just with the black thing.
I don't think you were a stereotype, but you came in hot as hell. And listen, here's my thing. Mateo Lane said it. He says, if there's one gay working, shit gets done. 2 gays working, nothing gets done. And so I was really concerned about that, and you came in hot and heavy, girl.
But did shit get done?
Did shit ever get done?
Yeah.
Did shit ever get done?
Okay, so I talked to Jason, our old co-worker, still friend, and he told me that I still hold the record. You were there, Dylan was there, for the most handhelds sold out of that store during March. So that 89, that I still hold that record out of that store.
That's good for you.
You were there. How can you say that shit didn't get done? Like,
I don't know. I'm just talking shit on my ass.
that's because you got fired.
Oh yeah, they shit can't me.
Yes, we're not
It
going
was
to.
deserved. It was well deserved. I've always been an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, you didn't like working for them, and I don't blame you.
I can't punch a clock, honey.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, sidebar. We're about to get off on a tangent, but let's be real. That job was kind of toxic.
I love that job. I hated clocking in and having to be there, but the people made it. You know, we had
So the
best-
customers?
No, I'm
Or-
talking about our group.
Well, that's the thing. But what you left, and our group ended up being just me and Tyler.
Right.
So it became super toxic because you weren't there. You were there, but you were at the South Bend store. I was in Hammond. Tyler can tell you, out of nowhere, Dylan started talking to me about why black people use the N-word in front of everyone.
Well, that's none of his goddamn business.
But that's not the point. Like,
Yeah.
he asked me point blank, and I'm over here looking around. It's like, why are you asking me this in front of everyone? Like, in front of the entire store. Granted, it was when Hammond first opened, and
Yeah.
there was no one there. But literally, it was me, Andrea, Tyler, him, and myself. And I'm over here like, why is this a discussion? You're
Does
my
that make
boss.
well, yeah, that's one thing too. But does that make you super uncomfortable when white people ask you like about like black things?
Yes, because I don't speak for black people. So asking one person to sort of like, he was looking for confirmation bias. He was looking for me to say the right things for him to continue on with his prejudice. Because I totally believe that he's low-key closet racist.
Right.
And because look at the way he treated Lindsay. He did not like people of color. And so he picked fights with me
that's a
all
hot
the
take.
time. It may be a hot take, but if you ask anyone in our group, they would probably say the same thing. He even told me himself that he didn't go to school with any black people until he was in high school.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. 'Cause
But why would he tell me that?
He was in Terre Haute. He probably was in private school.
But why did he tell me that? Why did he feel the need to be like, oh, I never went to school with anyone who was black until high school? I don't care, Dylan. Like, that was weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I will say.
Anyway, going back to closeted men. One thing I was talking about with my brother, who is pan, he likes anything and
Wait,
everything.
hold on, I have a question. Can I hit my vape on here?
Yeah, you can hit your vape. I mean, we're all adults. Everyone has their vices.
Thank God. What are we going on? Like 20 minutes? Probably like 10.
I don't even know. No, we're on 17 minutes. But my longest one lasted 3 hours, so
Oh my God.
yeah.
Wow.
Is that too long for you?
That's a long time.
It's a long ass time for you, but I'm over
Well, you
here.
see, it's hard for me to actually like put my thoughts together into words.
Why?
Don't know. No, I've never been tested for that. So I have
ADHD?
no idea. Yeah, that's probably it.
You should probably get tested for
I know. Listen,
ADHD.
my amphetamines are wearing off, honey.
Your amphetamines.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Anyway,
Script, girl.
you have to have a script. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Going back to closeted man, my brother and I were having this conversation. I've talked about this before with other people as well.
Your brother's gay too, right?
No, he's pan, so he likes women, men,
So he
things.
just he'll just take what he can get, huh?
I wouldn't say that, but yes. I mean, that's not really what pansexual is, but for him, he's one of those equal opportunists, like
Right.
anyone comes walking around, but he's one of those weird ones. And I'm going to talk about that at a later date with other individuals when it comes to race and sexual love. Because people in America, well, let's get into it now. I know that, we're flip-flopping around, but still, I think that this is something that I want to talk about, and I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Is it racist to say that you don't want to be in a relationship with someone of a particular race?
Are you asking me this question?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said yes, it's racist?
Yeah.
So tell me why. And so Notre Dame is one of those schools that has a shit ton of what do they call them? Foreign exchange students. And every single one that I've talked to, and there was one who was from Switzerland, and we had like multiple dates, and he was just amazing. he told me straight up, like, there are a lot of racist people here. And I was like,
he was from a different country?
He was from Switzerland. Or Sweden.
Sweden.
He was something with an S. He was blonde with blue eyes. He wasn't exactly tall, but he wasn't short either. Anyway, he said that there were a lot of racists here, and same thing with an Italian guy. I saw him several times. He said the same thing with an Irish guy. And I asked him, I was like, I asked the Swedish, the woman that was either from Sweden or Switzerland. I asked him, like, in your country, would it be considered racist if someone from a particular race said, I don't want to be with someone because of their race? And he said, absolutely. Here in America, that is not the consensus, and I don't understand how.
I feel like it is.
No, it's
no. I feel like it is.
No,
I feel like
it's
people
not.
do it regardless, but I feel like that's.
Well,
I mean, vocalizing like that is the racist part.
But people will straight up tell you that, oh no, you're wrong, it's a preference. Like, I prefer not to be romantically involved with someone of a particular race. They'll say that that's not racist.
But the moment that you vocalize it or put it on a platform, that's when it's like, then you're calling somebody out, and then it's, But
even if it's up here, it's still racist. So thinking something is racist. If I think I prefer to go to this grocery store over this one, they're the same grocery store, but this one has less people who are black, that's racist. You don't say it out loud, but that's the reason why you go to that store, even though it's 5 miles further from your house. You're willing to go 5 miles further away because a store has less black people in it than this store. That's racist.
That's not the case for me. I've never had that situation.
Well, I know,
so
but
I don't know how to answer that. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, no. So it's not. I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot. It's one of those things where people don't understand their own emotions sometimes. They're not emotionally intelligent to say, hey, this is the reason why I don't want to be with someone of this particular race.
Well, we all have an inherent bias.
Duh, good luck explaining that to people. But I agree.
We all have inherent bias. It's when you vocalize and act upon that, and then it turns into racism.
Not just acting.
So there's a big difference between bias and discrimination.
Yes, I agree, but bias and prejudice, are they the same?
It can be.
Yes, I would agree.
Can be.
They definitely, in my opinion, are. But when it's one of those things where you and I can hit it off, you're Asian, I'm black, but you say,
why am I Asian?
Well, the person's Asian and I'm black, and they're like, oh, I don't really see us being anything in the public eye. And I'm like, why not?
Well, that's racist, honey.
Well, it's because I'm black. They're afraid of what their friends are going to think. They're afraid of what their family's going to think. And I can only come over when it's dark outside, and I have to leave before everyone wakes up. So this person's not in the closet as far as their sexuality, but they're in the closet when it comes to their relationship, because you can be closeted for several different things. It's just been coined a gay thing. But there are closet relationships that happen, especially when someone's cheating on someone else. And what I've often told people is that if you are in a closet relationship, the person who is lying to maintain whatever status that they have, their number one priority is never going to be you. It's going to be the secret. So how can that relationship healthily grow? Can it?
I think you're spot on that. I don't think it really can, because until that person is ready to...
until you're the first person or the first thing, the priority, it's never going to happen.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who have deluded themselves into thinking, oh no, this is a good thing. You're both out, cool, but they don't want people to know that you guys are together because of your race, because of your financial status, because of this, because of that. If you have to hide your relationship for any reason, and it's not you who wants to do it, it's the other person, just know that you are not going to. There's more over there.
Yeah, honey. I figure you need a little help.
I'm sorry, but there's more.
That's all right. You're going to be thirsty.
I am. I'm thirsty now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
You get deep. You get deep in there.
Yeah.
Is that a black thing?
Well,
there we go. I'm undermining everything that you just said. No, I'm just fucking with you.
is it a black thing to get deep? Well, I've been the black men get the deepest.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, speaking from experience, black men get the deepest.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been told several times to go easy. No.
Oh. So top bottom reverse.
Oh, are we going there?
Yeah, why not?
So it all depends on the person. Mm-hmm. It also depends on the situation because there are sometimes I have a very unhealthy relationship with sex.
Oh.
And so a lot of times I'll have sex because I want to feel something else other than what I'm going through. And I can admit that. Like for me, it's one of those things where I want to feel desired, or I'm tired of feeling shitty, or I just want to feel something else other than what I'm feeling. But a lot of times afterwards, I feel like emotionally terrible.
Right.
And so if I like someone, I'm most likely interested in being verse with that individual. But I haven't topped in quite a long time. It's been years.
See, now my unhealthy relationship is with food. So I don't bottom because of that.
When you say food, what do you mean?
Oh, honey, everything. I eat it all. Spicy food, Mexican food mostly. And
Y'all don't have Mexican food up here.
you know what? I originally lived in like Goshen area in Elkhart. They have the best Mexican restaurants in the area. And then I moved over here, and it has been an absolute struggle to find anything that's like legitimate, and not only legitimate, but it's like, you know, good fire food.
Like the wet burrito. Every time I talk about that with someone, people look at me like I'm fucking nuts because there's no such thing as a wet burrito. It's a giant enchilada.
Yeah, no.
And it's got no flavor.
But let's be honest, that thing is sopping wet.
It is gross. And they use a flour tortilla, so that thing is like soggy. Yeah. It's a huge like mouthfeel texture nightmare. Gordon Ramsay would go into there and he would probably throw that shit in the trash. He would get that. He probably wouldn't even taste it. And people eat that shit up here like it's going out of business. So
I do want suggestions for like poppin' Mexican joints because and you know what, I know that you go to like the Mexican the
grocery
stores and they have it in there, and that
is good.
That hits.
Yes.
Okay, that'll hit you. But it'll hit you twice.
So you're one of those people, I feel like that's a northern person thing, because everyone says that up here, if you eat spicy food, your booty hole's going to burn when you go to the bathroom, and that does not happen to me.
It's an enzyme, honey. We lack it's the capsaicin.
But I was born here.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're great. It's
I'm just speaking shit on my ass, you know that.
Because also, let's be real. So spicy food isn't the spiciest in Mexican culture or Hispanic culture. The spiciest food has to come from
Taiwan.
India. Oh no.
That region, they got the spicy.
Oh my God, the spiciest food that I've ever had came from like India and Indian style food, because that stuff right there, oh, it'll get you. We're over here getting off topic. I blame you for that. We started talking about food out of nowhere.
No, I was just explaining why I don't bottom. That's where it came from.
Oh, so okay, you didn't get to that point. So we get there now.
No, we got there.
You don't bottom at all?
Not really. I mean,
why not? For you,
first of all, it takes too long to get ready and do all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to do all that.
How long does it take you?
It can take hours. It can take days.
Okay, you might have to go get yourself checked. I mean, you're at that age. Have you had your first prostate exam?
No.
Oh wait, you're younger than me.
I'm not even 29 yet.
Are you? Oh wow, I feel old. Between the two of us, I'm 32. 32, no relationship, and this motherfucker over here married, and won't even let your husband poke it. What about his birthday? Will you let him?
Why would he want? I mean, why would he? He's fine.
Does he not say, "Hey, babe, I want to, fuck you every once in a while"?
No.
Really?
No, he's fine.
He prefers taking it?
Yeah, well, and it was actually, I entered the relationship under false pretenses because I was bottom for the first probably 6 months, and then it switched, and then it just never switched back. because we found something that worked for us.
Okay.
You know, and went with it. And that I'm fine with it because I'm a lazy motherfucker.
So you're probably like the bottom, like just lay there and let him bounce on it.
Oh, you know me. Absolutely. Here, let me grab some more wine here.
When I say that there's more left, I mean there's like a swig left.
There's one glass.
That's not even a glass. It's like a third of a glass. So pour me a little bit, and then you're gonna pour. Oh, yeah, I knew it. You're gonna pour.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is my wine.
It is your wine. Yes, I do. I do agree to that.
This sun has really it's moved on us.
It has moved, but I mean, I don't mind. I don't think
your tits look amazing.
I've been working on them.
I can tell. You've been working out because you look really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I look in the mirror, and one of the first things my grandmother said when I moved back was, "You look like you've gotten, a little bit fat." And I'm like, my clothes.
Your grandma said that to you? Your grandma fucking roasted you like that?
The conversation we had, she mentioned my weight.
Bitch.
She'll never see this, but I mean, it is what it is.
Just kidding.
No, I mean, it's fine because one of the things that's like, hi, Granny. I haven't seen you since, your daughter, my mother, died. How have you been? Oh, you look like you've gotten fat. Thank you. I haven't, but thank you. Because I've literally maintained the same waist size. Mm-hmm. It's just I put on muscle. So I weigh close to 200 pounds. And when I say that...
Well, you've been going to the gym for a while now.
Oh, yeah. But I've changed up my regimen.
I've been following you on social media. Even when you were out in, Timbuktu, wherever the hell you were.
Houston? One of the fourth largest city in America?
Yeah. Place.
I was in Timbuktu, nowhere.
You were out
just
there.
in Houston, where Beyonce was from, where we established. Speaking of, she's got her new album coming out, and she just released a poster.
Album?
Yes. So people aren't a big fan of country.
I feel people talking. I hear people talking shit about it online.
Well, a lot of people talk shit about it.
There's also people that are loving it.
So I refuse to listen to any of the songs on there that she releases because I'm the kind of person that enjoys the artist and their art, and it's hard to like an artist when you consume.
I'm going to stay out of your sun because that's giving. It's golden hour for you right now. You look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, can we get back on topic? Is that okay with you?
Beyonce.
Yes.
Let's talk about Britney Spears.
Can we talk about her afterwards?
Let's talk about Amanda Bynes. Have you seen that shit?
So I've seen part of it. I did not see all of it. But back to Beyonce. Then we'll talk about Britney and Amanda.
All right.
So when it comes to Beyonce, her country stuff, and her music in general, I find that I consume and enjoy a lot of her music and music of other artists more when I don't listen to pre-release singles and just listen to the entire album. Because I didn't listen to Break My Soul, I didn't listen to any of Lady Gaga stuff, I didn't listen to any of Taylor Swift stuff or any of the Weeknd stuff until their album was out. I got the album and I appreciated it a lot more when I was able to listen to it all. First things first, if you ever like an artist, buy or get their album on Spotify, press shuffle, listen to the tracks out of order, and then listen to it again in order. You'll have a much better appreciation for the art and the album itself. Because that's what I did with Beyonce, with Taylor Swift. Granted, I didn't like Midnights.
Right.
People look at me like I'm crazy. I didn't like Midnights, but I loved Chromatica.
Can I be completely honest with you? Mm-hmm. Sounds like you got a lot of fucking time on your hands.
No, not really. Well, I don't have a job.
You say listen to it out of order and then listen to it in order. I can't do all that.
Why not? Don't you work in an office where you can play your own music?
Yeah, but you know how I am. I am here, there, and everywhere.
Okay, so that's you. People, I'm talking to more than just you. There's an audience here.
Oh, I forgot about that camera over there.
You forgot about the camera? Oh, we're talking about...
And this thing that I've been just waving around.
Just waving around. Yeah, they probably just...
I know. It's so bad.
But anyway, that's my take on the whole Beyonce thing. The country stuff, everyone's saying, oh, this is her first... No, she's done country before. Have you heard Daddy Lessons?
No.
Well, that's a country song that I really enjoyed from Lemonade, which is one of my least favorite albums from her. Granted, I like Lemonade. How?
I feel like Lemonade's a good album.
It is a good album.
It's great.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
But all of her albums are great. Is it in her top 3? For me, absolutely not. Everyone, when I say her top album is 4, look at me like I'm fucking crazy because I did not consume Love on Top before I consumed the rest of the album. I listened to the album. Love on Top is okay, but there are some songs on there that will bring tears to your eyes. Like, I was here when she's contemplating her own death, like saying, you know what, if I were to die today, I've done everything that I thought I wanted to.
You're a real Stan. This is how I feel about Britney.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing about Britney Spears. Like, you can say that about Britney. For me, Britney is okay. I just am not the type of person that likes to consume a lot of her stuff because I don't think, from a vocal standpoint, she's that great.
Oh, no, of course not.
But see, you can admit that. I can admit that Beyonce is not the best vocalist. People don't know this. At her peak, her range was wider than Whitney Houston's, but she didn't have the same vocal control that Whitney did. Whitney Houston had great vocal control, and she was touted as the best. Mariah Carey couldn't even beat her, even though Mariah was in the Guinness Book of World Records for having an 8-octave plus extra notes, one of the widest ranges in pop music history. And to this point, I don't think anyone has been able to top her. Yet Whitney Houston was considered a better singer because Whitney had better vocal control than Mariah did.
All right.
But going to Britney, because I know you want to talk about Britney, you want to play a game?
Sure.
Oh, you're probably going to get this one. I was going to say we can play Britney Spears or Madonna, but you're probably going to get this. So it's going to be...
Yeah, I'm going to know all this.
You think so?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Let's play it.
So I've got 10 songs. They're already in the chamber. And you've got to say it's either Britney Spears or Madonna.
Okay.
Hot as Ice.
Britney Spears.
Sorry.
Madonna.
The 3.
Britney.
God, I want to do... Starlight. Also known... Yeah. It's also called Lucky Star. It's Lucky Star Starlight. I wanted to use its abbreviated name on purpose to see if you got it. Or parentheses name. Fuck. You're going to know all of these.
Yeah, because I'm just going to go based on what I know of Britney. So anything that doesn't sound like a Britney song, I'm going to...
Lucky Star.
Madonna.
I just said it. I was hoping you would catch... Let's see. I'm hoping your ADHD caught you off guard. Okay. The Boys.
Madonna.
That's Britney!
No, Britney is Boys.
Oh, my bad.
Not The Boys.
Whatever. Okay, Boys. Whatever. Okay, you got me there. Me Against the Music.
Britney. That's Britney.
It's actually both. It's
yeah.
both. It's
Britney
both.
Spears featuring Madonna, but, whatever.
It wasn't on Madonna's album.
Because that bitch stole it.
I think you're right. There's no point in continuing. You know too much about Britney Spears, and I don't know enough.
Yeah.
Because what about Lucky?
That's Britney.
Damn, you know way too much.
I know the deep cuts.
I don't know any of the deep cuts.
I know the deep cuts.
Give me a Britney song.
Kill the Lights.
No.
You don't know that one? Mm-mm. Toy Soldier.
No. Is that a Christmas song?
No.
Oh.
Her Christmas song is My Only Wish This Year. She only made one Christmas song.
I thought she did Santa, Can You Hear Me?
That was not Britney Spears.
Yeah,
No,
I got you.
That's not the name
Santa,
of it, though.
what is it called?
My Only Wish. And then This Year, in parentheses.
Oh, is that the name of it? That's the same
name
song?
of the song. Yeah, it's the same song. But that's a lyric in the song.
I don't know Britney Spears that well. Have you been, keeping up with her, mental state? Is she acting crazy on purpose, or is that just
I don't think she's crazy. I mean, I think she's
the
acting
whole
like
knife thing?
Okay, first of all, that was iconic.
That was fucking weird.
That was hilarious.
Nah.
As a consumer of her content, I laughed my ass off. I was like, this bitch is crazy.
Yes! That's not good.
In a comical way. But here's the thing. I don't think that she is in a spot where she's going to harm herself or anything like that. I just think that she is acting appropriately for somebody who hasn't had autonomy over her own body or her own mind for so long.
Mind, I would disagree with. Money and body, yes. The whole body thing, the thing that she had to go through was crazy. Could she think for herself? Yes, but she
But she couldn't act on those thoughts. You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing. She could have, but she didn't want to.
How are you gonna act on if they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna take your kids away," or "Hey, this and that, you got to do this," And not only that, but if you act out, we're sending you to the fucking baloney bin.
So
and we're gonna put you on some drugs you don't need.
Here's my hot take on that. Anytime CPS or anyone gets involved and they threaten to take your kids away, there are times when you don't want your kids to be taken away, but are you being selfish in that instance? Because there were times when my mom should have had us taken away, and she fought to keep us when it wasn't in our best interest, it was in hers. So, with that being said, if someone was threatening to take Britney's kids away and they found a legitimate reason to do so, they should have done it, and she should have let them until she got better.
Yes, it was her father.
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah. No, that's completely different. That's one of those things. Yeah, so that's different. If it's not CPS or the law doing it, but at the same time, how would that have happened? How would that have worked? How could he have taken her kids away from her?
Because he was a complete conservator. She had no control over any decision that was made,
including her own biological kids. I guess I don't know what conservatorships are.
Oh, listen, do you want to hear it? Because she had no rights. She wasn't even technically a person. She had no legal rights at all.
That's sad. That's why you don't force your kids into Hollywood. Speaking of which, Amanda Bynes, but let's continue with Britney, because I know I was at the gym on the bike and I saw the whole Nickelodeon thing with Drake and all those other people.
Oh, I don't have Max. I don't have Max like that.
Well, no, it's not on Max. It was
on HBO.
It was on TNT.
Oh, yeah, well, they're talking about it. I haven't seen the actual thing. So I'm not about to pay for that. I'm not.
Well, if they had it about Britney, would you pay for it?
Yeah, if Britney was on it, yes.
Wasn't Britney on Hulu, though? Britney's documentary was on Hulu.
She's had several documentaries, but I read her book.
Did you buy her book?
I did. The audiobook was free on Spotify.
So you didn't even help the artist out? You didn't buy it? Always buy the artist stuff if you really like them.
Sure.
Sure what?
I've bought merch from her before, from her official store. Shit's overpriced.
You're paying for Britney. You're not paying for quality.
That bitch got so much damn money. She don't even know.
Her father took all that money. Yeah. I guarantee you, her father hit
she ain't staying in that mansion for free. She ain't paying that staff for free.
I would have burned that bitch to the ground.
Burn her dad? Her daddy?
No, not her dad. The mansion. I wouldn't want to stay in a place like that. I personally would just want to move and not ever be seen by those people ever again. And I heard her sister had played a role in it too. Did Jamie Lynn have anything to do with it?
I mean, I think she was just she's just there.
Oh.
I mean, you know how families are.
I know how some families are. My family, I don't even like that word. I hate it. I've always hated that word family, because people look at you funny when you talk about your family, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't say that. Bitch, you don't know me and you don't know what I've gone through with these people. So how can you tell me not to say something about these people that have been my tormentors my entire life? And
that's sad. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where I hate projection. I can't stand projection. And though there are times when I do it myself and I have to catch myself and you know what, this is me projecting. This is not everyone. This is not everything. There are times when if I'm having a conversation like this, and I'm going to post this on YouTube and I'm going to give you the link, you can periodically go to the comments and you're going to see people projecting their own emotional thoughts and their own experiences into our conversation. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not what I said, and that has nothing to do with the conversation. I'm over here explaining what these people did to me and why I don't view them as family, and you're saying that I shouldn't feel that way because they biologically are. No. That doesn't make...
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, family doesn't have to be blood.
Exactly. And in the gay community, that's something that is really, really large, because sometimes your family rejects you, going back to the whole idea that closeted people and DL people...
Circling back. Here we go.
I know, but you have to. This is why I should have
total control of this podcast.
I'm one of those people that doesn't let topics go. And
That's
so
good.
I always have, even though with this banter back and forth, I can always bring it back to the central topic. With closeted individuals, a lot, and DL individuals, they're afraid of losing what they perceive they have. And I say perceive they have, not what they have, because if you are someone who's in the closet, and you are afraid of coming out because you think that your family is going to drop you, then you don't have them. You perceive that you have them,
Right.
but you don't. If you know full-heartedly that your family has you through thick or thin, regardless of who you are, there should be no reason why you're in the closet.
Right.
And so, and I've told people that before, and a lot of people like, oh, no. There's so many other reasons behind it. There's so many mental health struggles and this, that, and the other. And yeah, I agree. Work those out. Fine. Don't bring somebody else into it. Don't bring me into it. I've been in this instance. I went on 3 dates with a guy who didn't tell me he was married until the 3rd date. And I'm like, why would you put me through this? We were talking for a month and a half. And over the course of these 3 dates, it was an additional month, so 2.5 months.
So you were the other woman.
I was the other woman.
How did that feel?
Terrible. I didn't sleep with him. Well, that's the thing. I didn't sleep with him until after I found out, because I was... I am not proud of that fact, but it's one of those things where...
You're like a flag.
I was so infatuated with the idea of being in a relationship that... No! Okay.
Down it. There you go. Mm-mm. Oh, okay. You left me like 2 drops. What is that going to do? Tickle my taint? No, that's not going to do shit.
I was so infatuated with the idea of being in a relationship that I threw my own morals out of the window. And I swore to myself that I'd never do that again. Because with him, it was on and off. It was one of the things where I slept with him. I felt so guilty. I was like, I'm not doing this with you. I dropped him. I blocked him. He saw me in public, and he came over, and he was like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm working with myself. I talked to my husband about it, and he was married to a man. And so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I gave him a chance, but then he kept bringing it back to sexual. And there was one instance when he said, let's meet at the club.
Was he
or
married
meet
to
at the
a woman
bar.
or a man?
A man.
Oh, okay. So he's fully gay.
But it's one of those things where he didn't want to be monogamous, and he didn't want to admit that to himself.
And what about his husband? Was his husband...
His husband was, and his husband was pissed.
Me and Sean struggled with this for a long time.
With monogamy?
Yeah.
So what did you struggle with? What was the issue?
Well, we're both, sexual beings, and we both like to explore that. And there's a lot of emotions, especially when you are getting into a relationship with somebody of like, and there's that expectation of monogamy because of society and all this kind of stuff, and it's like it's hard, but that's when we ended up getting married, and then it's like, well, fucking stuck with me now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get divorced. There's no way. That's my man,
Yeah.
like, and not only that, but it's like I can't emotionally connect myself to another person. First of all, it's exhausting. It takes so much time to get to know somebody, on that level. And once you have that, it's kind of like you don't want to go through it all over again. For me, at least.
Yeah.
So that's why, because he was fine with, thrupling and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no fucking way. First of all,
you want to be just you two.
You can't fit 3 grown ass men in a king size bed. It's just not going to happen. I sleep hot, honey. I sweat. I got to kick my leg out. There's no way.
Okay. I was like, a king size bed I can fit, I'm pretty sure, like 4 grown men, but...
Yeah, but comfortably, no.
So it depends on how you sleep.
Because his ass sleeps sideways. And that's a problem.
Sideways?
Yeah. He sleeps diagonal on the bed.
Oh.
And so I get a little squidge.
That's weird.
It's not just weird, it's fucking rude. And I've told him this on several occasions.
My grandmother doesn't sleep sideways. She sleeps in the middle of the bed. Doesn't matter what size the bed is. She will always sleep directly in the middle.
Well, if that's her damn bed, she's got every single right to.
But sometimes it's not. So if you were to go on trips with her and
I see.
you're sleeping in a hotel, she'll sleep right in the middle, and then she'll move and tussle, and you end up on the floor. And so it's one of those things where, like, if you're not used to something like that, you can't get a double bed with 4 people and expect someone to share a bed with you. No. Because it's not going to work. You have to have a rollout or a pull-out sofa.
You got to get a pull-out. You got to get a roll-in. You got to get some sort of cot or something like that. I'll sleep on the damn floor. You know what I mean?
But it depends on which hotel. Because my grandmother, though she has a lot of money saved up,
she's here a fucking hotel experience.
I have several, but I will.
This was just this last weekend.
Okay.
So I'm in an improv group.
Yep, you told me.
Improv comedy. All right. So we went to Muncie to do the Chirp Up Comedy Festival. Okay. And shout out to Muncie, shout out to Ball State, Chirp Up Comedy Festival. We went there with the Shower Buddies. That's our troupe with Lark Comedy Institute. Shout out Lark Comedy Institute in South Bend. They had gotten a hotel, and this is what you get for going on Priceline or whatever. Well, anyways, this place, the first one was on the first floor. And the window was wide open. The latch didn't latch. Like, it was like, and so we walked right in there and we're like, oh man, I feel breeze or whatever. And so I walked out and I walked up to the front desk lady and I said, honey, this window is wide open. It doesn't shut. So she moved us upstairs. And this one, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it feels a little damp in here. And, it smells like chlorine, like bleach, real bad. Sat on the bed, the whole side of the bed just like stank. Like it was like off kilter. It was off its fucking thing. And so the bed broke. And then I went to take a piss, and I looked up at the ceiling, and the fucking ceiling was falling down.
Was it like wet? Like someone had left the thing on?
It was some sort of moisture issue. There was a moisture problem, and so we had to get the fuck out of there. I said, no, I'm not staying here. There's a Quality Inn in Muncie, and if you own that property, I hope you fucking go to hell and die.
I don't think anyone heard you. You got to be a little bit louder than that.
No, I'm not going to be louder on that one.
He said he hopes you. Okay, well then I won't say
it. Go to hell. You should not be owning a fucking hotel.
But a lot of people do that because hotels are huge money makers, and so if you are in this area. So Notre Dame and South Bend have a lot of hotels in the area because during hockey time, and during Notre Dame home games, these hotels will get packed. And you're paying what you're paying just to go to the Notre Dame games. And these motherfuckers don't care about quality. They know that they have to pay.
It was a Quality Inn too. I said, listen, where's the fucking quality?
Quality Inn. It's a lie. Quality Inn. That's something that I've always thought about. People in companies that always state some sort of adjective that puts them in a great light, they're lying to their consumer, or they're lying to their people.
This is why I like to stay at the Marriott properties, and I like to stay at Hilton properties. Mm-hmm. But those two are the good ones.
They have standards.
Choice. Fuck them.
Choice what?
Choice hotels.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck them.
So have you heard of Hotels Tonight?
No.
So Andrea got me onto Hotels Tonight. Andrea, another former employee or a coworker of ours, she got me on Hotels Tonight because she had to, sometimes travel because she was in Chicago and had to travel up here.
Yeah.
So Hotels Tonight is a good one to use. Shout out to y'all, Hotels Tonight. Endorse me, please. I would love the endorsement. But they are really
Quality
good.
Inn. No. They're not.
I didn't say that.
You're not getting monetized.
Not by Quality Inn,
no.
But at the same time, I think they're going out of business anyway because no one likes them. Like Quality Inn and their entire conglomerate.
They better because them.
Aren't they part of Motel 6?
I don't really know. I've never been to a Motel 6.
I've been to a Motel 6.
What bitch do you think I am?
Wait, weren't we in a Motel 6 when we went and?
No, that was a Ramada. I like Ramadas because listen, they don't give a fuck.
So wait, when we went down there and we partied and you were supposed to drive me back, that was not Michigan City.
Where was that?
That was close to Hammond because Jason and everyone wanted to meet up and we were supposed to go down and hang with them and you were supposed to drive me back, but you got shit-faced and said, let's just stay the night. And I was like, what? Why are we staying the night? I was drunk. I couldn't drive back. And so I was like, someone's got to drive me. So end up...
You're a fun drunk. Speaking of, we killed that bottle of wine. Do you want to go to the bar after this? Fuck the gym.
Listen,
your tits are already
no huge. Money. I haven't gone to the gym. This will be the second day in a row I would miss. But however, I can go afterwards. So I'm just doing back
Well, that
day.
doesn't seem as nice. That doesn't seem as convenient for me.
I mean, you could go pick Sean up.
Sean ain't going to the fucking bar.
Why?
He's not a bar girl.
Is he a liquor person?
No.
Oh, well then.
He's a weed girl.
You know, I shouldn't be smoking weed because weed is technically legal here in Indiana, but every other... They legalized it?
No, it's not. Oh, I thought you said it was legal. No, it's not legal.
Oh, but say, yeah, it's legal here in Indiana.
We're the last people.
Texas is going to be the last.
We just started selling booze on Sundays.
Texas doesn't even sell booze on Sundays.
That's asinine.
They don't have booze in their liquor store or in their grocery stores in Texas. You have to go to...
I went to San Antonio not too long ago.
And they didn't have booze in their liquor stores, did they? They have wine, but they don't have hard liquor.
I didn't say that long enough, but...
But no, so Texas will definitely be the last one because, and here's the thing about marijuana, you guys. Oh shit, there's someone here to clean.
Oh, it's all right.
But when it comes to hard liquor versus weed, it's all a political thing. All these people in Congress are afraid of their portfolios getting hit, so they're backing these conglomerates that want to block weed from being made legal. And it sucks because
I think a lot of it has to do with the pharmaceuticals too, because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
their portfolios are going to get hit.
Yeah.
They have stock in pharmaceuticals, and pharmaceutical companies don't want weed to be legal because a lot of the things that they sell, weed would make obsolete.
It helps. Some people, me, I can't do it.
I don't smoke.
I can't do it because I
do
get terrible anxiety.
It depends.
And not only that, but like people call me all the time. Yeah, I sell real estate, so people call me all the time.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
Not at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So that's when you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it at midnight, and then you're supposed to party until 8 a.m. and then go to sleep. Because that's what I do. Like, if I were to do weed or an edible, so I will take one and they sell them in Texas, which is weird because they're not considered the illegal ones. They're synthetic Delta 8s.
Oh, we have the Delta 8. Those things are sketchy. See, why is that allowed? Why is that allowed?
That's the thing. I don't know. But I had a Delta 8 gummy, and I was like, this is not going to do anything for me. I was over here. I was listening to, I think, Lady Gaga in my room, just literally in the dark, dancing around in the dark to Lady Gaga's Dance in the Dark. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I think I played that song like 3 or 4 times in a row, listening to that song over and over again, just Dance in the Dark. As I'm dancing in the dark on this edible.
I don't know. Sean used to get them. He used to go up and get them Delta 8s, and I said, I don't like that you do that. Why don't you just hop, skip, and jump on over to Niles, Michigan?
What's wrong with the Delta 8 ones?
Because you buy them in a fucking gas station. I don't know what's in there. I don't like the fact that my husband's just putting that random shit in his body.
It's sealed. It's the same thing. When you're smoking vape, do you get those from a gas station?
Listen.
See? Woo. Boosh. I just over here blew your mind, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Well, no. I am. What do they call it? A hypocrite in some.
Yes. Well, it's not a hypocrite if you don't actively think about it. Hypocrisy is an active thing.
Here's the thing: is I would so much rather you drive 20 minutes to go get some legitimate,
But it's so much more expensive.
It's really not.
So in Texas, I could buy
Levels. Shout out Levels in Niles has
Michigan.
Niles, Michigan. They have vapes 10 for $100. So it's.
You think that's safe?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
They use legit. I mean, listen. There's so much freaking regulation over this stuff in Michigan. They got it so regulated.
In Michigan, perhaps, but if you look at the regulations,
I don't know what kind of stuff is in that.
He's not going to turn into one of those bath salt zombies. Did you ever hear about that?
I did hear about that. That was scary.
Yeah, imagine him taking one and turn into a bath salt zombie and eating you.
No, thank you.
Speaking of eating you, do you like animals? Are you an animal person?
What? Why did you say speaking of eating you?
Because animals will eat you. Crocodiles, bears, sharks.
I don't fuck with none of them.
But do you like dogs?
Yeah.
Would you like to adopt mine?
No.
Why not?
Because right now I have 2 cats and a dog that I don't want any of them.
I don't like cats either. I'm allergic. But what kind of dog do you have?
He's a 14-year-old Jack Russell.
Oh, he's going to be dead soon.
Well, I know, but he's a holdover. He's a holdover from old Grandpa. You know, God rest his soul.
You should totally let my dog hang out at your place for a couple of days and see if you like him.
Because I live over by the Rum Village Park. And there's a dog park over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good dog park.
I hear they don't pick up after their dogs.
I do.
I know, okay, so you do, but I know that there are a lot of people that complain about that, and they walk in and it's like just covered in dog shit.
It's not that bad. It's not, but there's never anybody up there when I go up there.
That's because Rum Village has this reputation of being like Cruise Central and Cop Central.
I've never been cruised. I've never been.
We have to go on the
before.
trail.
I've never been cruised before. Period.
I've been cruised before.
I've never gone cruising before. I think
what does going cruising look like? Because I don't know.
That's what I want to know, because I feel like all these people are going cruising. You know, you see it on Twitter and on all these things. Everybody's going cruising.
Those are staged.
Do you think?
The cruising on the Twitter stage, they definitely say, hey, I'm going to be here, let's meet up, and then they just claim that it's not, but it's definitely staged.
But also, isn't that kind of... I'm not into public indecency. I'm not into all that. You know,
public indecency was set up just to like fuck with people who like to have fun, because America is sexually frustrated. Like people who wear...
What do you mean, like to have... Listen, here's the thing. When I'm out doing my business, I don't want to see nobody whacking off in a fucking Wendy's parking lot.
Okay, so that's different. If I'm in the woods somewhere, if I'm in a forest somewhere and I want to have sex with someone, I should be able to have sex with them. It shouldn't be one of those things like...
Not in a public woods. If you're on your private property, sure.
No, but even then that you can. If someone can see you... If someone can see you having sex with your significant other
if you are
over
on
the
your
fence,
property, you're fucking fine.
No, you are not. You will get cited for public indecency, and if a kid saw you, you will end up on a list as a sexual predator. Yes, you will.
Well, why do you think all these people go hunting?
Exactly. Why are these straight men going hunting? Wink, wink. We're out there for hours. All you hear is moaning and like, listen, what is that? Must be a bobcat.
No. My sister's fiance. My sister's fiance goes hunting all the time. Hasn't shot a fucking thing.
You think
ever?
You think he's gay?
I don't know.
Just
probably
out there
not.
with his dudes.
Probably not. He's got great tits and a nice ass. So.
Your sister's fiance? And you're over here talking about her in public? That must be the Sauvignon Blanc talking.
No, it's not. He's got great tits and a nice ass. I'll admit that any day. I told him.
Did you tell her?
Yeah.
What did she say? Jared?
I said, listen, honey. Cover him up. You got to cover him up.
Because someone's going to take him.
Somebody's going to take him. It ain't going to be me.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be you right now. But,
Wait till Sheila comes out, girl.
Exactly. It was like, tell everyone who Sheila is.
Sheila's my drunk persona. That's who comes out when I get real drunk, and she's a good time. She's great. She's a good old bitch.
For reference, if you're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, think of drunk Amy. That is Sheila times 10. You don't know.
You love Sheila.
I've never met Sheila.
Yes, you have.
When?
We've done partied with the Sisaki crew.
I don't think I met Sheila though.
No, Sheila was there every time.
But I only partied with them once.
Oh, you missed out then.
I know.
Not a lot.
Because I know Sheila was there with Christian, but I wasn't there for that.
Sheila was there every time.
I don't remember seeing Sheila when I was there, because I was there at the hotel with you all, and Dylan and Andrea next in the next bed just like going at it, and I'm over here like, Jesus Christ, we have to work in the morning.
Right. Well, that's what I'm thinking right now, honey. We're gonna wrap this up.
What about Dylan Lindsay? Have you heard from him lately?
I sold him a house.
Well, yes, you told me. But other than that, where does he live? Is he living in this area?
Right now, he's over in Michigan City right now.
Okay. You go all that far to sell houses?
Yeah, I can sell anywhere in Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you been to Indianapolis to sell?
No, I have. Well, the thing is, I don't know that market.
Okay.
So what business do I have over there? You know, I have no fucking business going over there to sell.
You know.
But Michigan City is, there ain't nothing in there, girl.
I just took a sip.
You did. You got a little.
Yeah.
That was my backwash.
No, I definitely was not.
No, but here's the thing. Michigan City is small enough to where like you can literally look at it on the MLS and know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Indy is a whole nother level. Like that's.
What about Fort Wayne?
I wouldn't touch it.
Warsaw?
But here's the thing. I'm not going to drive out there. Because
Plymouth?
Because I'll do Plymouth.
Have you done Plymouth before?
I've done Plymouth. Yeah. I've sold several of houses in Plymouth. That's only a 30-minute drive. That's not too far.
Is it?
It's not bad.
Oh.
You hop on a bypass.
Okay.
Well, you gotta remember, I'm on South Side.
Aren't
So
I
I'm right
next
there.
to you?
No, not really. You're up off of Portage, right?
Portage and Bendix, yeah.
Yeah.
Between
What's your
there.
address? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna just shout out my address. Oh, and then like, oh shit, they're gonna like dog like shit my house. People were like freaking out because I said that if you don't like someone of a particular race, then you're a racist. But that's the definition of racism.
Right.
But my thing is, you said we have to wrap this up soon. What if we go to the bar after this? Instead of going to the bar, why don't we just order? Like, we can literally walk across and get some alcohol from Belmont Beverage.
Yeah, well, let's do that. We'll head back to my place.
I have to go to the gym.
Listen, your tits are already huge.
It's not about my tits. I'm doing my back. And I have this really weird body. So.
All right, here we go.
But look, like.
Here we go. Bust it out. Bust it out.
I have a weird body where maybe it's my dysmorphia, but I feel like I've got. Look, you can see me like pinch. You can see the fat roll.
Oh, honey, you ain't.
Oh.
You ain't got nothing on me. You ain't got nothing on me. Listen.
Well, I know how to put the fork down.
No, get married. Get married. Get married.
It's nothing about getting married. For me, going to the gym is a stress reliever.
No. Okay, well, I don't have stress like that. No, I do.
Yeah, but I was about to say,
But
what?
here's the thing. The gym for me is very stressful because I never learned how to work out or how to do any of that kind of
Come with me,
I could.
and you will see a place called Candy Island.
What do you go to? PF? You go to PF?
Yes.
See, now I go to PF Chang's.
They don't even have one of those here.
No, you got to drive for that. Or they do in the freezer section.
Ew.
No, I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
No, I'm a cook. I'm a good cook. I cook a lot of meals.
So when it comes time to season, what do you season your food with?
Listen, I got my stars, okay? Garlic, onion powder, smoked paprika, cayenne, okay? Red pepper flakes. All right?
And what are you putting all that in?
Pretty much anything. But pretty much anything. Recently I've been going to Trader Joe's a lot, and they have those good tomatoes that you make the sauce with. What is it? San Marzano tomatoes? Those fuckers don't need no seasoning.
No.
Those are good.
Well, tomatoes are, in my opinion, are good in general.
I do a lot of Italian. I do a lot of Italian.
That's the reason why you're bloating, because you do a lot of
Pasta.
What's pasta?
It's pasta. I do a lot
the
of
starches and it makes you retain water, so you're not nearly as bloated as you think you are.
Thanks.
It's true. So here's the thing. Would you? What's a proper way to say it? What's a proper way? You're not as fat as you think you are. You're not that fat. You're just kind of fat.
Well, tell me how you feel, bitch.
It's all about what you eat. So
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot of
starches.
pasta. I like my carbonara.
So
I like my,
I had to cut that out because I was pre-diabetic. So they had to tell me to.
See, I've been waiting to get pre-diabetic because once you're that, then you can qualify for Ozempic.
You're not that big though. You don't need Ozempic. You would be like
I could do it, once a week or something.
No, Ozempic is really, you have 2 shots and you take 2 shots within like 6 or 8 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not. No,
I thought it was a daily shot.
No, it is not. From what I was told, well, I guess it only depends on if you need it or not. Because there are some people that they get 2 shots and they take 2 shots a year. In order to lose weight. You are not at that level because they said that it really fucks up your digestion and all that stuff. If you're someone who's struggling with weight, I would say look at your diet.
Get help.
But don't
Fast.
consume Ozempic as a result unless you know for sure what you're getting yourself into, because you can buy Ozempic overseas from India and you're getting the actual thing. Yeah, if you look online, you can purchase all of this
Listen,
stuff.
I'm not doing that.
I did. I purchased because America.
I'm not doing that. No, I will go through the proper channels to get my drugs.
No, because America with the pharmaceutical company will fuck you over. You can literally buy so much stuff overseas for pennies. What they're
Pennies on the
charging
dollar.
here.
What time is it?
7:39.
We got to wrap this up, girl.
What time do you have to be gone?
Well, we got to get to the bar in about T-20.
I'm not going to the bar. Are you?
I beg to differ.
Well, if Jason and Paul are going, then I'll go.
Paul might go. Jason's all the way in Timbuktu.
You keep saying Timbuktu. Is it Houston or is it Granger? Or not Granger, Goshen.
Anywhere that's more than a half hour away.
He's not that far, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Where is he?
Like Napanee-ish.
I don't know where that's at. So text him and see if he's available.
He's not.
How do you know? I have something to tell you about Jason after this is over. I'll tell you after we cut. But yeah.
Okay, we got deets.
I'm pretty sure someone's already told you about it, but
all right.
anyway,
We're done.
He's ready to be done. He doesn't want to go over the record for the longest episode, and we have an hour and 10 minutes on this episode. Anyway,
You're gonna have to cut this. You're gonna have to cut it and edit it and do all that kind of
I'm not doing any of that. Everyone, you got to turn the microphone off. You just said it on the.
I turned it off.
Oh, you were talking with it off. He was talking with the microphone off. Anyway, y'all, thank you very much. I appreciate you. There's also a cleaning person in, and he keeps staring at us, so we have to leave. Enjoy. I hope you like this. Anyway, Jared, do you want to give any sort of shout outs before you go?
I do want to say there's a couple of things that are coming up. Okay. If you are in the South Bend area and you like to be involved in the community, especially like charity things and improving our community.
I want money. I want a job.
Kyree's Venmo will be linked below. But also there is a Rebuilding Together event on April 27th. We are going to be out there doing improvements to people's homes, and such as and so forth. So
Such as and so forth.
Yes,
That's the Sauvignon Blanc talking, and he's ready to go to the bar.
Anyways, Rebuilding Together. Google it. You'll be able to sign up to
Rebuild something, I'm assuming?
rebuild it.
What are we rebuilding?
Volunteer homes and houses.
I have a question. So South Bend, for whatever reason, decided that they were going to start adding all of these speed bumps in the fucking area.
Right.
How
One
many?
in front of my house?
Why is it that they're all built over there in that area, but there's none over here?
No, there is. There's been a couple
Where?
over off of God, what's that road? Oh my gosh, it's off of Corby. Not off of Rockney. They put one in Rockney, but it's this they did. I saw them out here doing surveys. They did one by my house.
So they've done 3 on the Riverwalk one on both sides. They've done 2 in my 3
Are you
in
talking
my
about
neighborhood.
Riverside?
Yes, Riverside.
Thank God. Because listen, I used to speed down here. I'm
so it's
I'm
for
a little
me-
speed demon. Okay.
For me, it's not about the speeding. It's about the accidents that have happened there. From what I've seen, they put them in places where accidents weren't prevalent. They just put them there to stop people from speeding, where they should have been put where the accidents were actually occurring, and they didn't do that.
No, by my house, there's been several. I've lived there for 2 years, probably 8 accidents at that intersection.
Okay, well then that's where one was needed. And is there one there?
I called 311.
What is 311?
Oh, you don't know about 311?
I don't know about 311. Don't shame me.
No. 311 is it's a service where you can call, and it's your connection to the city.
Oh.
That's where you call for trash. That's where you call for any
Like dead animals in the street?
Exactly. You call 311.
Okay.
Anything you got.
Okay. Well, I started calling 311 because there's a maniac over there by where I live. There was a dead kitten that I saw that my dog actually found, and it was not killed by another animal. It was killed by a human because there was no blood.
Jesus
there was no
Christ.
puncture wounds. It was just sprawled out on its back, and I'm like, a person did that. Anyway, It's a good way to end the show, I suppose. Dead kittens.
End on a high note, hey.
Alrighty. Bye. You're not going to wait for me to sign off and
Yes,
say bye?
yes, of course I will. Of course
sit
I will.
there, say, address the camera, look good, talk about Britney Spears, and we didn't even talk about Amanda Bynes. We kind of did.
We don't have to.
Okay.
She's spoken for herself.
Well, so did Britney, but we talked about her.
Britney's more famous.
What?
Britney's more famous, and she's also my muse.
I would say that Britney is more famous. Her being a muse, though, that's
So how do we sign
weird.
off for this?
Anyway, y'all, thank you for joining us at the Rainbow Roundtable. Again, this is Jared Ross. Peace out for now. Mwah.